Hi, everyone. I have a story to tell you. It starts in 2005. I'd been teaching public school music for years, and I realized one day that there was this incredible mess of pieces. My life pieces, they were all mixed up and laying on the floor. Some of them were getting stepped on, and some of them were wet. It was a nightmare. And the day that I realized that was the day that I thought I would plan the trip of a lifetime. And when I told my friends and my family that I was going to attempt an end-to-end hike of the Appalachian Trail, they told me I was crazy. That's crazy, they said. They also asked questions like, well, what are you going to eat? And where do you sleep? And what if a bear attacks you? Aren't you scared? All these questions came at me, and I just thought, hope for the best, right? So 1 year later, I found myself here in Georgia on Springer Mountain. It was a cold and breezy day, and I sat there and realized that I had achieved instant simplicity. I had my backpack, and that was it. I was attempting the ultimate challenge, and at this point, to answer all of those questions that came before, I was incredibly frightened. I didn't know what to expect. Well, it went out cooler than it came in. So one particular day I was hiking along, and I came across this group of hikers, and bringing up the rear was this chubby Boy Scout, and I mean Boy Scout. He was dressed in full regalia, and he was huffing and puffing at the back of the line. And I walked behind him for a few moments, and I silently encouraged him, you know, in your head, you're like, you can do it, you're all right. And as I came close enough for him to notice me, he looked and he said, oh, hey, where are you going? And I said, well, hopefully to Maine. It's 2,000 miles away. And he said, wow, well, how far have you been? And when I replied, 31 miles, with the honesty that only children can achieve, he looked at me and said, yeah, I don't think you're going to make it. So suddenly I'm running down the side of the mountain, because I'm going to beat that chunky kid. I'm going to beat all of his friends. And as I was trudging down at top speed, the thought occurred to me that for the next 6 months of my life, the only human encounters I was going to have would be with strangers. And this was a frightening thought, until I realized that when I was tired, strangers welcomed me into their home to sleep and rest. When I was sick with Giardia, and I will spare you those details, strangers nurtured me. And when I was downtrodden and blue and sad, strangers actually sang to me, sang songs. And those strangers helped me through every single day. One in particular day, I was in the 100-mile wilderness in Maine, which is a part of the trail where you don't have anything near you. There's no quick hitch into a town to get some food or anything like that. There's nothing. And in a frenzy of blueberry picking and eating, I got lost. And I stood in the same position for about an hour, freaking out, because I didn't have a map or anything. I had no idea what to do, when I saw smoke rising in the distance. So gleefully, I'm following the smoke, and I came into a circle of 10 strangers, stunned but welcoming. I told them my story, and they, in turn, gave me cold beer. They gave me steak, they fed me fresh salad and cold beer, and there was fruit. It was unbelievable. And did I mention the cold beer? It was really great. When we finished feasting, they wished me luck, sent me on my way in the right direction, and told me to have a beautiful end to my journey. And it was really beautiful when, after 183 days, I summited Mount Katahdin in Maine, and it was great. But the re-entry to society, not so great. I truly hated almost everything. This reality is smelly. It's clogged with people and plastic and cars. It's loud. And one morning, my parents, with all of their amazing wisdom, sat me down and told me that I was a miserable person to be around. And they said I needed to figure it out, you know, just like that. Figure it out. So, like, it's so easy. So So I eventually did, and I figured it out when I took all of those amazing things that those strangers gave me, and I applied it to every part of my life. And when I did that, all the pieces of my puzzle suddenly fit back together and made this beautiful picture. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to go out and spend 6 months in the woods. We've already established that's crazy. Don't do it. But I am asking you, if you look at your life now as it is, today, right now, and you think about those things that make you smile, those people that you love, then ask yourself why. What is it about them? What is it about, for me it was strangers. It could be cats or bocce ball. Maybe it's your children. Whatever it is, what is it that's so great about them? Take those pieces out and apply it to everything. Apply it to everything. And when I did that, I see the big picture. And if you could take that moment and take that time and look at your lives, I think, and apply those pieces to everything, that you will also see the big picture. So now I am constantly surrounded by stranger-induced happiness. Thank you very much.